welcome to Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
My name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. Hi, Erica.
How are you?
Good. Do you ever have the moment where you just think to yourself, because I just had it, where I'm like, damn, we do this every week.
Yes. We're consistent.
We give the people every week ourselves.
The trash content, the garbage content, not the news that you need to know, but the news that you need.
That you want
to know.
She wants this news.
You
know what?
What?
My partner's watching too much Drag Race.
Oh, no.
Remember how we used to say, like, in the beginning of, I feel like you had maybe started your Drag Race journey a little bit before me, but kind of around the same time, I feel like you and I both got into Drag Race. Close. Did you go a lot harder than me? Yes. But like, that was not at any fault of my own, because I was being told at the time that by my roommates and my old roommate and my partner that watching too much Drag Race was making me shitty. Like I was acting like an asshole because I was taking on too many mannerisms. And this is like early seasons Drag Race too, when they were like problematic. So fine, whatever, jump ahead. Because I mean, you said that same thing happened to you. Jump ahead now. And my partner's watching Drag Race with me because he can't help himself, because it's fucking incredible. And he's becoming a little bit of a, like, kind of a cunt sometimes. I mean, it's all cute and like never serious, but I'm like, what just came out of your mouth? Like, or, like when he left tonight, so I could record in silence. And like he opened the door and he pointed out and then he walked out.
No.
Yeah.
Just pointed and then.
Like a pageant queen.
Iconic. I love it.
It was incredible, but I was like, I'm sorry. What the fuck just happened? Like, I want him to start doing drag. I'd be thrilled.
Oh, the things we could, the influence we could have and the shape that we could put him in.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I know. I wonder if he'll let me do his makeup. Maybe I'll try to do that like tomorrow night just for fun. Just like a cheeky makeover. Just, because why not?
Ooh, I love it. That sounds fun.
Good. Yeah. You look great. What's up?
Well, it's like it's a huge week for douchebags this week.
Next week. This week. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Last week.
Last week.
Yes. That's how this works.
Martin Shkreli and Billy McFarland were both released early from prison for, I guess, overcrowding and good behavior.
Wow.
So the Pharma Bro and Fire Festival organizer.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Erica. They're both douchebags, but comparing what they did, I think, is a little bit of false equivalency.
Mm-hmm.
Because Martin Shkreli is definitely a much, much, much worse person.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think it's funny that they got released early when there's people like who've been in jail for like 30 years over some pot. So like if something you got arrested for becomes legal, don't you think you should be let out of jail?
Right? I mean, we've proven time after time we're not lawyers, but we know how to influence the system. 100%. You should follow the Last Prisoner Project because they are working on that, getting people out of prison for minor pot offenses and things like that. But the Martin Shkreli, what he took these, like, they call them like orphan drugs. So we're like less than 200,000 people need the drug, and he jacked the price up. He bought the rights essentially to it and then jacked the price up absorbent. But what Billy fucking McFarland did is he took hard-earned daddy's money and influencers and he abandoned them They had to eat white bread, like a cheese sandwich. They weren't given concierge service.
He suggested that his one of his promoters who was helping him suck dick for water.
I mean, honestly, did he suggest it or was that volunteered? I can't remember from the documentary.
He said, I don't know exactly how it went, but it was like basically like, what do you expect me to do? Suck dick for water? And then he just kind of got the look of like, yeah, I do expect you to suck dick for water.
And honestly, that's the only resume that gentleman ever needs. He was like willing to do it pretty much. And I was like, yeah, that's a dedicated employee.
Do you ever see things that happen in media and you go, well, that's going to be a thing? Like, that's going to get the shit memed out of it.
Yes.
That's how I felt when I saw that moment from that Fire Festival documentary. There's 2 of them. I honestly recommend watching both. I think they're both great.
Mm-hmm. They give a little perspective to both. Yeah, for sure. Watch them both.
Yeah. Anyways,
oh my goodness.
Congratulations to them for getting out of prison. I think that the prison system, like in the same way that I feel like people who go to prison for drug offenses and violent offenses, like we just need to help them rather than just locking them in a cage. I kind of feel the same way about these people who do these horrible like blue collar crimes. It's like, men would rather buy a certain drug and jack the price up 200% than go to therapy, like that kind of thing. It's like, like let's figure out like what's up. Like, oh, okay, this man is obviously an extreme narcissist, and maybe we can help him so that he's not such a menace to society when he inevitably gets out. But instead, you just put him in jail. I don't know who am I? Who am I?
We just gotta redo. We gotta do a redo.
I do think that people who have murdered people should probably go to jail.
If we can prove they murdered people. I think a lot of people sitting there that maybe we don't know if they for sure murdered them or not.
It's true. Gosh, what a slippery slope. It's almost like the world is not black and white. It is in fact gray.
Boo boy.
Wow. Why are you trash?
Okay. Great question. So I spent the last weekend at DragCon. And
hey, oh my God, me too.
Yeah, we were there together.
Yay.
A package deal, if you will. And I spent it around some of my favorite, entertainers and performers. And I'm gonna not be out. The come down was pretty hard.
Yeah.
I even went to a drag show Monday evening afterwards just because I was like, I can't let it go. Can't let it go. But I was kind of feeling, I was like, I miss being the adored one and the star and being special. And so it made me remember a time when I first moved to LA. This is circa like 2010, 2011, when to feel special, all the girlies were getting feather extensions.
Oh, yeah.
Put in their hair. And I thought I was hot shit. I had a feather that was just a part of, I washed my hair like normal. I blow dried the feather with my hair. It was a long, thin feather that was just like an extension, a part of my hair, like bonded to my hair. And you couldn't tell me I wasn't fucking Cindy Crawford with that.
Yeah, I remember that time. I didn't get one like bonded in. I just had a few clips.
Oh no, I paid someone to say this is permanent and we got to grow it out.
You had to grow it out?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, it was like a I'm not
like a hair wrap thing.
Like a hair wrap, yeah. A feather.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm such a California girl now. Look at me.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a couple clips that had like a lot of feathers on them, and I'd pop one of those on either side and kind of just curl my hair out. I'm 20, I'm skinny, and I just have the biggest hair with all these feathers. I can't release those photos now.
Mine are somewhere in the ether of deep Facebook albums.
Yeah.
Albums.
Yeah.
Anyway, why are you trash?
My partner and I are very fortunate that we own our condo. But he likes to make everything which is very sweet of him. Either fucking way. So there's an HOA, and I am forbidden to interact or speak on the HOA meetings. Not because my name isn't on the mortgage, not because, Taylor stifles me and needs to be the man of the house. Simply because I have been needed to be reminded too many times that this is real life. Because I love the drama, and I want to increase it. And Taylor has to be like, this is real life. You can't do that. Like, there's, the elevator needs to get fixed in our building. And, some people voted against that. And some people voted for it. Was pretty overwhelmingly passed. But then this woman went on and was like, why are we taking from the reserves to do this? We should all just pay for it and stuff. And some other girl came on, was like, I can't afford to just pay that,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I told Taylor, I was like, push the clapping reaction on Zoom. Clap for her. And he was like,
no, these aren't even real life meetings. They're over Zoom.
No, they're over Zoom. I'm like, turn the camera on. And he's like, no. And what's so funny is that I watch the people who do have the cameras on, and I have to talk quiet because I'm they can probably hear me. But I watch people who do have the cameras on, and it's always there's a lot of older people in this building. And so there's one, there'll be a guy there and his angry wife, pacing in the background. And then he'll chime up, he'll raise his hand to ask a question. And halfway through his question, she'll come in and interrupt and just ask it in a more aggressive way. And I'm like, yes, yes, yes. It's unhinged. It's unhelpful. Mm-hmm. But oh my God, I love it. I love it when everyone pops off. And all I want to do is I'm not even mad about anything. But I'm going to be like, the pool's disgusting. I don't know. I don't feel safe. I don't know. I love the drama. So I'm not allowed. I'm allowed to sit and listen, but I am not allowed near the controls. We are not to be on camera. So I just can't be trusted.
Truly incredible.
I mean, and he's not wrong. He is not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was one time that he had the camera on and he spoke, and then I chimed in right at the end with some bullshit, and we had a big fight about it.
I truly live.
I love it. I love the drama.
Speaking of the drama, I mean, musicals have a little drama in them.
If they're any good.
Let's get to our first story from NBCnews.com. Dolly Parton to star in a musical on TikTok about Taco Bell's Mexican pizza. I feel
go ahead.
I feel like I just pulled words out of a hat randomly. I just hit jumble, and this was the headline that came out.
Dolly Parton musical TikTok Taco Bell's Mexican pizza. It does have a bit of an apples to apples vibe. So when we were at DragCon, we watched Kylie Sonique Love perform, and she performed her dressed like 90s Pam Anderson after doing a crooner version of Toxic almost by Britney Spears. She performed her original single, Do It Like Dolly. And these drag queens are smart because, well, not all of them had this foresight, but a lot of them, they put their lyrics on the TV behind them so that you could sing along, because why would you know this? Why would you know their songs unless you're like a really hardcore fan? So do it like Dolly. I have not been able to stop singing that chorus. It's been stuck in my head all day today. And then I saw this and I was like, oh my God, any mention of Dolly Parton, I'm gonna be singing this for the rest of the week.
I've been singing it 9 to 5.
Yeah. Do it like
Dolly.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, go on with the story.
So Parton is going to start in this musical. It's going to premiere later this month. So she will truly be starring in Mexican Pizza, the musical. She announced on her Instagram post earlier in May. And so the satirical musical is based on a true story of the internet losing its mind when the fast food chain removed the product from its menu in late 2020, according to the screenplay shared on Parton's Instagram post.
So it's based on Doja Cat. Oh, Jesus. It's based on Doja Cat's catchy jingle that she shared on social media that same month about the Mexican pizza. And then this guy, Victor Kunda's viral video parodying what a dress rehearsal of a musical would look like for that song.
Oh my goodness. So Parton has been very vocal about her love of Taco Bell. And she said, they used to make a little Mexican pizza, which is also good. I love that.
They're talking about how TikTok also had a Ratatouille, the musical. And then there's another musical, For You page. So, I mean, it's not going to be like a long musical, right?
I think the longest video on TikTok, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure people say you stupid bitch, but I think
they better not fucking say that to you.
I think the longest content you could do on TikTok is like 10 minutes, but most are 3 minutes and under. So probably not super long. Yeah.
It's probably going to be live, right?
The Taco Bell musical will be released at 8 p.m. Eastern time on May 26th.
Wow.
A week before the Mexican pizza returns to Taco Bell's menu. So we'll see. I don't know if it's going to be live or how it's going to be played out.
I had a friend who kept sending me things about the Ratatouille musical, and I was like, I don't want this in my feed. You have to stop sending me this shit. I don't know why I resisted it so much, but I did. I was like, I don't care.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know who did care a lot?
The sister in this next story.
Absolutely. From heart.co.uk. A man revealed he's not allowed to see his newborn nephew because of an argument over a dog.
So this anonymous Reddit user explained that since he was a kid, he'd always wanted a dog and he wanted to name the dog Merlin.
So when his sister-in-law was pregnant and heard the name, she decided she would name her unborn son that instead.
Said 3 months ago, my wife's sister and her husband were at our house at the time. She was 8 months pregnant with a boy. 8 months pregnant with a boy. They said they already had a girl, so this was their second kid, and they hadn't decided on this kid's name yet. So at one point in the conversation, I told them that I was going to get a dog. Finally, because I've always wanted one and I never had one growing up. And I'm 37 years old. And I was going to name him Merlin because I'd saved that name for him since I was a kid. And then this pregnant lady and, the brother was like, or whoever, however they're related, was like, oh my God, I love that name. We're going to name our son Merlin. And you can't name your dog Merlin because our son's going to be named Merlin.
So after the baby was born, the man adopted a German Shepherd from a rescue and used his favorite name, Merlin.
They got pissed. I mean, they got fucking pissed because he was posting pictures on social media being like, here's my dog Merlin. And they called and they were like, you need to rename that fucking dog because this is a real child and this child is more important. And this guy's like, literally like, let the dog and the boy both be named Merlin. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this?
I think the sister-in-law and the brother are being ridiculous. Like, A, the poster, OP, original poster, uh, had the name first, and then you can't dictate what somebody names someone, or ask them to rename their dog. Yeah, it's absurd.
I mean, I think it's important to point out that Merlin is a wizard's name.
Mm-hmm.
We're all thinking it.
Yes. I'm very sword in the stone right now, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, who cares? Like, not to be like cruel, but this dog's gonna be dead in like 10 years. That's how dogs work. So, and that's assuming it was a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, just let the dog be called Merlin. You
Yeah.
you were 8 months into your pregnancy. You didn't have the kid named yet. Why wouldn't you figure that out?
I mean, sometimes you gotta see a kid to know what they're gonna be called, you know?
My mom has the weirdest story. So my older brother's name is Steve, and my mom said, when I was pregnant, he was going to be named Paul. And then when I had him, I looked at him. I said, "No, that's a Steve." What the fuck does a Paul or a Steve look like? The fucking most sorry, mom. This is the most basic white names, and you're sitting here looking at your like little white baby boy and being like, "Not a Paul. That's definitely a Steve."
Right.
Like, what the fuck? What does that mean?
I love it. I love it so much. Oh, well, I also love our next story so much from the New York Times.com.
You love this? This is cruel.
I love the absurdity that it is.
An ex-deputy sheriff is charged with being a wedding crasher bandit. This is every newlywed's nightmare.
I guess I have a bit of a like a wedding crashing fantasy. I truly love uh being plus ones to like strangers' weddings. Just being like, I don't know any of y'all.
The wedding crashing is not what's offending me. It's the fact that he is stealing all of their cards, which
Yes.
contain all of the money that they've been gifted. Crash the wedding. Fucking fine. Don't crash my wedding, listeners. But like, it's the worst nightmare part is that all their money is getting stolen.
Mm-hmm. Listeners, DM me for the address to the wedding. Anyway, so this retired deputy sold boxes of cards containing cash and checks from 11 weddings in the Phoenix area.
He would show up neatly dressed but uninvited to 11 weddings in Arizona where he stole cash and checks from the envelopes given to the newlyweds. So lame.
Sounds like is it the same location or different wedding venues? Is this an inside job? Was he working with somebody?
This shit happens all the time. They always tell you, like, if you're gonna, like, first of all, don't tell people to give you checks instead of cash, and like always make sure that you're like receiving gift area is not right by the door. Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of rules about this kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you have a wedding planner who's keeping an eye on it and stuff, because I mean, this stuff happens a lot, which is it's fucked up. It's sad. It's really sad.
It's very sad. Couples just trying to start their lives. Have you ever been to a wedding where there's been a dollar dance?
No, I just heard about this recently because we have another couple who we're friends with who got engaged, and like me and Taylor are not doing like any traditional sense at all. And he was like, "Yeah, like we can't figure out if we want to do the dollar dance." I'm like, "The fuck is that? You should explain it to our listeners."
So a dollar dance is where you essentially pay the bride and groom to dance with them. It's a way to collect cash at the ceremony, at the reception. But it just feels so icky.
It's icky. It's like everyone stands in a line with cash, and like you give them cash and you dance with them, and like the whole thing is like, give kids like $20, but or something like that. So that because it's like nice if they dance with the kids. But like you've always got like one creepy uncle being like, no money until I dance with your new wife. Like it sounds so weird. I've never been to one where it's happened, but I just heard about this in the past few months. This couple is not going to do one. I can't imagine doing one. Who the fuck has cash anyways?
A pre-COVID relic. This deputy, though, when asked what he was going to do with all the stolen money, he said he had spent it all on fixing his bass boat.
So this guy was on the police he was a sheriff for 21 years. And the time of his arrest, he had 2 checks from the latest wedding he crashed. They said that in like one of the weddings, he stole like $3,000. 2 of the weddings, he got like $6,000. And when he was like, or he told the police, I was attending the weddings because he was going through divorce and he wanted to listen to wedding vows. That's like super, super fucking sad until you realize it's bullshit and he's just going to steal money. But like, nice try.
And that's like the opposite of what you do as you're going through a divorce. You don't want to hear other people get up there and proclaim their love for a lifetime to one another.
Like, bitch, watch 27 Dresses and mind your business. Like, you don't need to go to people's real life weddings. Like, ew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What a nightmare.
Speaking of a nightmare.
Oh, truly, the greatest gift the pandemic has given us is people not knowing how to use Zoom and virtual meetings and just the hell that it has cost.
What have we said so many times on this podcast? You need to, like, it seems like we shouldn't even have to say it, but you need to make sure your video's not on and your sound. Like, just if you're not talking, be invisible. Understand? So, according to theguardian.com, Canadian MP, which is like some sort of lawmaker,
member of parliament.
He says, sorry for logging on to the session of Parliament from a toilet stall.
He promises never to repeat the error. He participated in a hybrid session of Parliament last Friday after joining with a Zoom-like feed visible only to other parliamentarians. But the Conservative Party, he's a Liberal Party member, and the Conservative Party members grew suspicious of his surroundings. A Conservative MP of the House of Commons said that the lawmaker might be participating in a washroom somewhere inside of Parliament, an allegation that baffled the Speaker of the House until it was confirmed by parliamentary pages.
So he placed his camera on the ledge or ridge of the wall just above the back of the toilet. So, like, were they just looking at the back of his head? Or was he straddling the toilet to shit?
I'm trying to get my barometer. Like, I'm trying to do the mapping of it.
Also, who puts, like, if you're trying, like, I've taken like podcasts into the bathroom. I never go, let me just put this on the back
right
of the toilet. What? What the fuck?
So the page said the member of parliament was literally using the washroom while participating and sitting in the House of Commons, the cathedral of Canadian democracy. I can't believe I actually just said those words, Madam Speaker.
He apologized. He said it was an unfortunate event that arose from a lapse in judgment and that he's taking the matter extremely seriously and he's not going to do it again. But it's like, I don't even know if you need to say anything.
When you gotta go. But like, you can also say pause. Like, there's a way in parliamentary procedure where you can stop proceedings momentarily.
I mean, just turn off your camera. Like, it's fine. This is the second time that the liberal, oh God, what is wrong with me? It's hard to do it after work sometimes, you know? This is the second time this has happened to the Liberal Party of the Canadian Parliament or whatever, because in 2021, there was another guy who was spotted naked on camera after changing after a run, and he apologized, but then he admitted to urinating in a mug while attending a committee session. And then he said he would seek assistance. Bitch, with what? Technology? Like, honestly, to me, it's like you went on a run, you made it back just in time for your meeting. Like, change after your run, absolutely. Pee in your mug, it's your house. I'm going to let that one slide. If by saying you're going to seek assistance is basically being like, yeah, I'm a sick pervert.
Right.
And I did it on purpose. Why can't you just say, oh, that was an oopsie. I didn't realize my camera was on because I'm a fucking idiot.
It's like that. That's like a step too far, but it's like, I'm going to go to rehab. I'm going to talk to like that. They can say and admit, but like that they can't just say like, oh, I don't know how to use technology.
Ben would, oh God, I don't know. I just can't do it. Like, you're a liar if you say you haven't taken a Zoom meeting on the toilet.
Oh, 100%. I pop those earbuds in. Yep. I listen. I'm on mute. I'm off camera. Yes. Back-to-back meetings. I gotta go.
Yeah. I have a meeting at 10 a.m. every morning. I'm just supposed to not sometimes have to shit at 10 a.m.?
That's my morning constitution time.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. That's ridiculous. Sometimes but you know what? You just don't have your camera on and you don't have your sound on. It's really, really easy. If you can see yourself, you got a problem.
Yeah. I didn't realize I wasn't on mute for a training and I burped.
Ooh.
And it was like a lot of people were on the training. So I didn't know if anyone knew who it was. And I was very scared that it was one of those things where maybe the speaker goes to like the front of the image, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, totally.
I was really hoping that my image didn't pop up as I burp, but it was scary times. I was very humiliated.
Did you get like a little green box around your name for like 3 seconds?
No, thank God. Because somebody was like presenting, thank God. I just didn't realize I wasn't on mute and it was a faux pas.
Speaking of faux pas, according to ABC57.com, in LaPorte County, Indiana, a player at the Blue Chip Casino was charged with cheating at gaming for allegedly asking someone to claim his winnings. I did not know that was illegal.
I think that's guess so in Indiana.
Yeah, like if I play blackjack and I win $20, I can't just give you my chip to go and cash for me.
I guess because of the taxes.
I don't know. Anyways, so this guy who I won't name, I don't know why, he wanted a table game, but his winnings were intercepted because he owes $48,000 in child support. You're kidding. Someone who gambles profusely also owes $48,000 in child support? That doesn't seem on brand.
I mean, I often think, I'm like, do I have a child out there that I don't know about that I should be supporting?
You are a gambler.
I am a gambler. My greatest fear, somebody knocks on my door one day and just says, Erica, I'm yours. And I'm like, what? I didn't even know.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that this is learning a lot. You can't ask someone else to cash your shit for you. And also, if you owe child support, like the casino knows and like doesn't give you your winnings or something. It must be taxes
in the system. It must be like a note in the system somehow. Like now, if that other person had pulled the lever and or placed the bet, even with their money, I think they would have been entitled. They could collect the winnings.
So he later in the day, didn't think I should go home now. When I didn't, so he just kept gambling, and he won $1,300 in a slot machine. And then that's when he asked someone else to go and collect the winnings. And that's when it became a problem. He was like, I'll give you $200 if you go and collect these winnings for me. And then like she was confronted with an officer, and she was like, I didn't know that shit was illegal. He offered me $200. So she ratted him out right away, which is exactly the right thing to do.
Yep.
It's not something I say very often in this podcast when we're talking about news stories.
Nope.
That was the exact right thing to do.
Yep. So he was charged with cheating at gaming. I did not know. But he also then was arrested on May 10th for unlawful possession of firearm by serious violent felon and possession of cocaine for the arrest warrant.
Okay, so he was also a serious violent felon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. A third thing I didn't know, you can, I guess, pay down your child support with gambling.
It's income.
Yeah, because like if his winnings were intercepted, like does that go to the balance or do I just not get the money? That's the question I would ask.
I think it goes to the balance. Yeah. I don't think it does not pass go. It goes, it do not collect $200. It goes straight to the balance.
So he could have just put another $1,300 in the pot.
I don't think that kid's ever going to see that money.
I don't either.
But who did have the money, and you know what they did see? From KTLA.com, it's an unfortunate mistake. A Pennsylvania school accidentally sells Mother's Day roses with a thong inside.
So this Pennsylvania school was selling faux flowers with little surprises on the inside for mom.
So a mother joked when she opened the surprise, she found a thong in her rose. And she said, "Thank you, St. Anselm's."
I know. Can you believe it? It's a Catholic school.
In her now viral video that she shared to Facebook.
The Archdiocese of Philadelphia. That seems important.
He's like the head of the church in that area.
The main Catholic of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Said, we're sorry for the mix-up, which they apologized deeply. What was the mix-up? Were those flowers meant to go to someone else?
Both of the church to apologize over just like a thong, but took years to admit other things. Maybe they're practicing. Maybe they're like, all right, if we start apologizing for the small stuff all the time, maybe we can work our way up to the big stuff.
I mean, I think that's how confession works. Apparently there was only a very limited number of these roses sold before they figured it out. Not that limited if she was able to get that shit on Facebook.
Yep. I just like the phrase thong-filled roses.
Yeah, I'm confused how that works. Like the rose itself is maybe made of the thong. You'd have to buy me a pretty big rose.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I love it. Our home ec teacher and our like home ec classes, when I was growing up, we would do a fundraiser where we would sell suckers for Valentine's Day and cookies, like nice, like big chocolate chip or sugar cookies with icing, like, big display ones. And you could get them delivered to people in school. And it was like a fundraiser, or you could get like little, notes with a pencil. And it was like, ooh, somebody really loves you. You got one of the big cookies delivered with icing and a message. And we had a Cupid that would always do the deliveries. And it was always like a high school, senior boy. And it was always charming. But it was also like, oh, you just got one of the cards with a pencil. Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. Like, just, it was like an instant, like, classification of like how much you were adored or loved. It just made some people feel like shit. Like,
and none for Gretchen Wieners.
And none for Gretchen. It was totally a none for Gretchen Wieners. And it was always like, please let me get a cookie. Please let me get a cookie. And it was always like, my mom sent me a cookie, but it was like, thank God I got a cookie. I got a cookie. Okay. And you might send your friends suckers, but like, if you didn't get a cookie, I mean, fucking outcast,
I mean, Valentine's Day in high school was the dog eat dog, because like there would be just certain girls that would have like gigantic teddy bears and balloons and all, because we didn't have what you're talking about. We couldn't send anything to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you had an adoring high school boyfriend or like a crush, like, or something, and they could bring whatever the fuck they wanted to gift you at school. And so you'd see some of these girls like the fucking Old Man and Up with like tons of balloons. And then there would just be either like the single people who would like, at least be able to shrug it off and be like, whatever. But there would be also like this other breed of people who had boyfriends, or girlfriends or whatever. And they didn't have anything to show for it. And you could just be like, yeah, Valentine's Day is stupid. We don't really do that.
Right.
It's like, you're 16. Of course you fucking do that.
Right.
You know how I would react if I had that much Valentine's Day stuff in my house on Valentine's Day now as an adult? I'd be like, are you fucking cheating on me?
Right. I'd be like, why are we doing this? Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do wrong?
Yeah. Show me where the poop is so I can rub your nose in it. Like,
yeah. Like, why did you waste all of our money on this?
I thought we were going to go eat somewhere or eat something nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're saving for a house. This had to have cost you $170. And it's all going in the trash.
Yeah.
Soon.
Incredible. Yeah, it just is a haves and the haves nots. I think we should really do away with it, but what are you gonna do? Like me praying to get a cookie every year,
and that stuff just takes up space, and you got to think about like, does it mean anything to you, or do you want to like move it from apartment to apartment because you got to be special and careful with when you move.
100%. And sometimes a U-Haul can't haul it all.
Can't haul it all. And I think that's a wonderful segue that I set up and that you hit out of the park for our next story.
From caranddriver.com. Cops stop a U-Haul van with a Zuzu rodeo hanging out of its cargo box.
This headline is not an exaggeration. That car is literally hanging out of the side of a U-Haul, which, like, what a thin car. Like, that doesn't totally make sense to me, but it's too long, but it was not too wide to get into that.
Yes, we'll post a photo to our social media, which is at Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok when we do the TikTok. But it is absolutely wild. It's just ass out a Zuzu rodeo out of an open door U-Haul.
It's crazy too that like they got fined because they didn't secure it with safety chains. They're not, like, it's not illegal to do that to a U-Haul. You just have to do it safely.
Right. However, the driver's license was reportedly suspended, and both the U-Haul, which was allegedly overdue for return, and the rodeo and its cargo hold were impounded.
What's up, man? There's always a correlation between the people in our trashy stories and suspended licenses. Like, I hope that you and I never get so trashy that we're not allowed to drive anymore.
I hope we get so wealthy we never
Yeah.
drive ourselves anymore.
You know, like we cross into a threshold of like, Erica, all of your friends love you and care about you, but you're getting so trashy, it's time to take your keys.
Yes. Oh, be the dream. Erica, are those fuzzy dice hanging from your rear view mirror? We're going to take your keys from you.
Erica, how many bumper stickers are you about to put on that car?
7.
It's time to take your keys.
It's fair. Erica, are you about to put a cattle guard on a Prius? It's time to take your keys.
The rest of this article just kind of becomes an ad for U-Haul.
Kind of an ad, kind of a kick in the ass, because it's like, the company claims you can rent its trucks for as low as $19.99. However, it's like, well, technically, it's like you got mileage fees, and then you got to add insurance, and then it's like, it just goes on about the fees, and it's like, oh, and then suddenly this, this goes over $100. They kind of, yuck on old U-Haul a little bit.
Yeah, 1995, my ass.
Yeah. However, just so you know, everyone listening, Home Depot, even though like fuck 'em, Lowe's is better, doesn't support, far right politics, but Home Depot does have trucks you can rent. It's not a reserve system, so it's first come, first serve, but they have trucks you can rent for like up to 90 minutes or, on a reservation basis, which is cheaper. And you can, get your driving done and things like that. But again, it's no reservations. It's a first come, first serve basis.
What I've done before that I think is kind of trashy, but like also maybe brilliant? I bought a patio table from a vintage shop once, and at the time I drove a Nissan Sentra, so that wasn't fucking happening. So what I did is I ordered an Uber XL, and I called him. Like when he's accepted the ride, I called him. I said, "Look, it's just me, but I bought a table and I need an SUV.
Yeah.
Like, do your seats fold down? I have a blanket in my car. We can do." And he was like, "Okay." And so for like the $20 that it cost me to take this Uber XL from this vintage shop to my house, I was like, that was fucking easy.
Genius. Fucking genius.
He even helped me move it.
Oh, that's 5 stars. That's 5 stars in our tip.
Hell yeah, it was.
Yeah. the amount of Uber drivers that I taught about drag this last weekend as I Ubered back and forth to the convention, like drag con, and they'd be like, why is everyone dressed up? What's going on? What is this? And I'd be like, oh, it's drag con. And they're like, what is that? And I'd be like, it's a drag queen convention. And they're like, drag queens? What are those? And I'd be like, sit your ass down. How do you sum it up in about a 5-minute ride that we have left?
Take the long way.
Do a lap around the convention center. So it started. Shakespeare would write. No, but anyway, yeah. So it was pretty. It was pretty fun explaining to people, and I'd be like, "Oh, you should watch this documentary, and this is fun." And they'd be like, "Okay, lady, just get the fuck out of the car." Anyway, spread the word. I'm like an evangelist. I'm just spreading the word.
Proud of you.
Thank you so much.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Hold on. Yes. Yeah, I'm ready.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you not saying you were ready until you were ready.
Yeah, I had to get a sip, take a breath, reset myself, and I'm ready.
Well, it's time for the dumpster fire of the week. This comes to us from kptv.com. This is in New Delhi. A retired Indian couple is suing their son and daughter-in-law, demanding they produce a grandchild within a year or pay them 50 million rupees, which comes out to 75. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Which comes out to $675,000 US.
So the 61-year-old retired government officer said it was an emotional and sensitive issue for him and his wife, and they cannot wait any longer. His son, a pilot, was married 6 years ago.
They said, we want a grandson or a granddaughter within a year, or we want compensation because I spent my life's earnings on my son's education.
Okay, I feel like this is fucking wild. Like, but also there's like a sliver of me that can understand. I gave my teeth for you when you were in my womb. Like, babies take your calcium from your teeth. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I get, like, I spent my life's earning on you. I literally sacrificed my body for you. Give me a grandson or a granddaughter, or I get the wanting of it, but you're not entitled to one.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, on the story surface, you're like, oh my God, fuck, these people are crazy. Like, you can just sue your kid and his wife for, like, not having a baby. But at the same time, like, I respect it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of like, yeah, they spent all their money for you to go to college and for you to have a wedding and stuff. You've been married for 6 years. Like, give him a grandchild, because there's no way that this is coming out of nowhere. Like, it's not like these. I mean, maybe it is, but like, I doubt that this couple's been like, oh, we don't want to have kids. Like, that's not going to be what we do, you know. And then they're like, well, we're going to sue you. I have a feeling this couple's like, oh, we're just waiting for the right time, and blah, blah, blah. And it's finally like, fuck you. I'm in my 60s. I'm going to sue you.
I mean, I obviously there's like some deep cultural things going on that maybe we don't fully comprehend.
Absolutely.
Like, we're going to acknowledge that.
Yes.
As
this is a comedy podcast.
We are dumb. We do not have a degree in understanding different, geopolitical and socioeconomic issues.
I don't have a degree in fucking anything.
I'm just saying, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but like, at the same time, it's like, give me a grandchild. Like, it's funny.
Like, there's a part of me that thinks that, like, my mom and, like, my fiance's parents, like, if they got together, like, this isn't too, like, I feel like they're capable of this.
Yes. I had to have a strong conversation with my parents to be like, I'm not having children. Please stop asking. Like, I don't want the pressure. I don't want the questions anymore. Like, not happening from me. But it was like a conversation for a long time. Like, well, I just want to be a grandparent. And it's like, not happening from this womb.
You have a sister.
I know. So now there's a shit ton of pressure on her.
Sorry about it.
But that's something that they want, So
yeah. I mean, they're saying we're not getting love and affection from where we want it the most, and we feel very unlucky. So and he's just like, we love children. We love them, and we just really want them. And the son and daughter-in-law didn't even comment. You didn't even comment. So you're fucking wrong. You're not commenting because you better be busy banging.
You better be knocking one out.
Tracking your cycle, not on an app.
Yeah.
And fucking.
Get a hard paper calendar. Get some red pens and black pens. I want to see notes. This is like a fucking political campaign at this point. I want numbers. I want stats. Where are we polling hard? Where do we need to increase?
Or pay me 50 million rupees, bitch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Do you just have that lying around?
What's hilarious is that he said that he spent his life earning on his son's education. He spent 3.5 million rupees, but he's like charging interest. a lot.
The 3.5 million rupees was just pilot school. That's not taken into account elementary school. How many shoes did you have?
Yep.
From age, birth to 18, you get new shoes how fast you grown out did you have a Go-Gurt today? Put that on the old tab.
I'll tell you what, I was having this conversation with Taylor and I was like, we were talking about specifically like how fast kids grow out of clothes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Taylor's 6'4" and I'm 5'10", and we are both of the beefy persuasion. We love it.
Beautiful people.
We're fantastic. We're gonna have some tall, long children. I'm like, I don't even know how we'll possibly keep up with this. So we're gonna need to not be sued because we're gonna need all the money we can get to clothe these monsters. And I will sue them in the global warming wasteland that we will be living in by the time I'm a grandparent. I will, whatever the equivalent of suing is in that Mad Max-esque landscape.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to sue because it'll be like The Handmaid's Tale, but, Taylor can.
Yeah. On our behalf. On our behalf,
Yeah. It'll be like the HOA meetings.
He's like, no, don't talk.
Sue her. This is real life, Mary. Because we're all going to be called Mary.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I look at kids' clothes and it's like, it's hard to find something that's just like, can I get just a fucking solid green shirt that doesn't have like Paw Patrol on it or glitter or, stripe? It's like, where's just like a solid colored basic shirt for kid? Every kid shirt that they outgrow so quickly has like all this like design and like shit on it.
You're looking for basics.
I want a basic.
Wow.
I want staples.
That you're not going to have kids then.
I want staples for kids. I want kids that will look timeless.
These lifeless, like sad kids who wear beige clothing and like,
not
Erica's kids.
I'm not saying beige. I'm saying colors, but just solid color. Like, can we just get a blue Oxford for a little kid that doesn't have like polka dots or like guppy buddies on it?
Erica's kids, like, have you seen them? She only lets them wear jumpsuits. It's like prison. She doesn't like the design or the colors, even though they're kids. And kids like designs and colors and happiness, but she's so angry about it. Her kids look like Jehovah's Witnesses, and she likes it. Can you believe it? I can't believe what Erica's doing as a mother. Like, her kid wanted something with a rainbow on it, and she yelled at them. And she said, "Can't you just wear a blue polo like a Best Buy employee?" They're kids.
I just want them to look, I don't want them to be dated by their clothes. I don't want them to be trendy. I just want them to be like, oh, look at me. I was, ageless. I was Parisian.
It is trendy. All the shit that we used to wear when we were kids is what Generation Z wears now. Like when we were actual kids, like when I was 5.
That's fair.
What's the style now.
I guess
the only thing that's out of style is the 80s. Shit.
Yeah.
What a weird time.
Guess. All right.
Some like Tommy Hilfiger, like kids playing polo, like whatever you need, because you don't like that kids have glitter on their t-shirts. No, glitter is going out of style.
No, I just where are the basics for kids? They shouldn't be limited to glitter. That's all I'm saying.
Kids should wear uniforms.
De-drag our kids,
I mean, I can't. And you of all people,
I know.
you love wearing sparkly shit.
Yes, but like, for occasions
Oh my God.
and for moments, not just like on the playground.
When you're a child, everything is a moment. Don't you understand that? Everything. This is the saddest realization. If you're listening to this podcast, get ready to get fucking sad. When you're a child, everything is a moment. Every day is a moment. So much, everything is a fucking moment. And then you just get older. And then all of a sudden you're in the middle of May and you're saying, gosh, it felt like it was just March. I don't even remember that my birthday happened. That's me. Everything is a moment when you're a child. Damn it.
All right. I hear you. I've come around. I get it. Okay. All right. Let kids wear prints and glitter and
You want your kids to look like Target employees. A khaki and a maroon.
not a khaki. Ugh.
Oh, they can wear jeans.
Yes,
You
like a
want them
nice.
to dress like that fucking clogger that you're in love with in another dimension. It's a polo and a blue jean, isn't it?
Oh,
You're just pissed off because Erica from one step off of the timeline is married to that guy and all the kids, and you all dress the same. I found it. I cracked it.
oh.
That's what it was.
All right. All right. Let the kids have glitter.
Let
Let the children play.
My goodness.
All right. What are you hoarding this week?
I'm hoarding. I've got a fun activity, fun challenge for all the listeners. Go on your iPhone or Samsung, whatever the fuck else there is out there. Just go ahead and like really take 15 to 20 minutes to yourself and start deleting the apps on your phone.
I did that last week.
Yeah.
I went on a deletion spree.
I did it 2 or 3 days ago because I didn't delete everything. Like I still have Twitter, I have Pinterest, I've got like the things like these things are eating my information for breakfast. But like, the airlines that I fly, I'm keeping those. I've got Lyft, I've got my banking apps, like all that kind of stuff, my library app. But you know what I don't have anymore? Jersey Mike's app. Or fucking calorie counting apps that I don't use. I don't have period tracking apps, even though I don't have a period right now because I have an IUD. So there's a lot of information for you. I just you've got probably so many apps on your phone that you don't use, but that are using you.
Mm-hmm.
In a major way.
Tell
You
them
don't even
to
know it.
delete your data too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's just my advice. And that's what I'm hoarding is just protect your shit. We're all fucked, it's all out there. We're all fucked, but like you don't need the fucking Sweet Green app to try. You don't need Sweet Green to know your location 24 fucking 7.
Mm-hmm.
And whomever Sweet Green sells that information to. Now they know your address. Beyond them knowing how often you go to Sweet Green, no. So just get rid of all those apps that you don't need and that you don't use and that you forgot were on your phone. It's liberating.
Yes. I literally cleared out maybe 35 apps from my phone the other day and it was great. It felt so good. It felt like cleaning.
Yeah, totally. What are you hoarding?
I'm hoarding Target is having their Pride collection in store right now. And they've done collaborations with Trixie and Katya, Bob the Drag Queen, Got Nick, and some of the, RuPaul stars, but just in general, they have a lot of, Pride collections out right now. And is Target a major corporation? Yes, of course. But it's cool to see representation available to the masses. And pro tip for LA, the Eagle Rock Target is lit with Pride collection right now. A lot of stuff there, but I just think it's really cool. Target has like a lot of Pride stuff, just in time for the Pride celebrations that are going to start happening in June. So I check it out.
A lot of people like to shit on that stuff. They like to, be like, oh my God, like, look, every corporation waving their rainbow flag every June, to make money and stuff like that. But I can't emphasize enough that, like, if I would have been walking through Target or Walmart or even like the mall, like past Abercrombie and Fitch, or like all these kinds of places that influenced how I dressed in my culture, like growing up as like in middle school and high school, when I was starting to question my sexuality and stuff, if I would have seen more mainstream representation giving permission to be gay and that being okay, like, it probably would have been able to come out before my 20s. So, just you make fun of it if it's ugly and whatever. But like, I think it's really cool that these big corporations are doing it.
Yeah. I like I said, I think it's cool just that, they're, yeah, like more people are going to get their eyes on it. I mean, yes, it is the, commercialization of things, but, if you get to see it, I get to see it. Some kid in Iowa gets to see it in theirs, and maybe they go, hey, it's okay to feel this way. And that's somebody that I look up to, that I can, wear on my shirt. And yeah.
It also just like stops like, the automatic assumption that like kids are like straight or gay. We saw a lot of kids at DragCon, and like all these kids were wearing much to Erica's chagrin, glitter and rainbow. And it's like, you see that and you go like, how fun for this kid. Like, they're wearing glitter and rainbow and they're being exposed to drag queens and all this kind of, and they're being exposed to gay culture. We're not fucking saying that this 4-year-old is gay. We don't, but like, we're also not saying that they're straight either. And that's what people do to kids currently and what they've been doing to kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you throwing away?
I am throwing away the chicken fingers at the LA Convention Center.
Yep.
So did I go to DragCon this last weekend? Yes, I did. But did I go to all 3 days of DragCon? No, I did not. On Saturday night, I started to experience some trouble. And I texted Erica. I said, how you feeling after those chicken tenders? Because it was the only thing that I could like identify that was questionable. It wasn't the 6 appetizers that me and Erica ordered at Yard House. I couldn't possibly blame that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm getting a little nervous, and my stomach has been so shitty and so bad. And so, I mean, by Sunday, like, it was just getting to a point where I was like, I don't think I can come. Like, I'll spare you all the details, but I was going through some things that would make you say, I don't think I can leave my house. I definitely don't think I can get on a train and go downtown. I don't think I can wait in lines. I don't think I can do the things that are required of me for DragCon. And I missed the last day of fucking DragCon because of this. And I was going to let it go, but then you hit me with some information before we started recording.
So I met up with some friends at DragCon, and I said, my podcast partner couldn't be here today. She's not feeling well. And they said, did she have the chicken tenders? Which means everybody was getting hit by the chicken tenders at DragCon.
Like, I'm floored. I couldn't believe it. I knew I wasn't imagining it.
Yeah. Yeah. It, not good.
Yeah. What are you throwing out?
I'm throwing out the Tidy app.
Ooh.
The house cleaning app. I have had I downloaded, I got a discount code. I downloaded and I provided my address, details on where to park, that I would pay for the parking in this section. Call me if you have any questions. Here's everything. We had an appointment time. Set. And so I'd given detailed instructions. I'd also put in the app, what we would want it clean. And 15 minutes go by past the appointment time. And I said, I simply just said, hey, just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And I don't get a message back for, 5 more minutes. And then I get looking for parking. And I said, oh, you can actually park, in this garage at this address. And again, I put in the app, like, we'll pay for the parking. And they said, okay, looking for parking. And I said, great. They said, okay, I give them the parking instructions. I live 100 feet from this parking garage. I tell them where where it is. They said, looking for parking, like circling your building, basically. 20 minutes go by. And then they're at my front door saying, oh, can you let me in? And I was like, were you looking for parking, or had you not left the last appointment? Like, those are 2 different things,
We know those lies. We've all said them.
I've said them. I give that. Yeah. 100%. Oh, just leaving my house means gonna start curling my hair,
A very famous tweet of yours.
Yeah. I was like, honey, you don't have to, I know this game.
Yeah.
And I just was very disappointed. And so again, like, the things I asked to be clean within the app weren't clean. I asked when they got there, and I was just very disappointed. And I don't want the person to get like dinged or in trouble, but I also don't think the app did its job. And I just the dynamic of having someone clean my house always makes me somewhat uncomfortable. And I'm just so tidy out. Like, I got to find a person that I like, that's reliable, that I can just go person to person and tidy out.
Do you feel like the app didn't tell the housekeeper all of the information, and that's why this was all happening?
That's what I'm questioning, because I was like, I put detailed instruction, like addresses, like here's the, between this and this, here's the address, this and this, call this number, we'll reimburse you, this is the cost of the parking, we'll pay for the, I put every detail. So that's why I'm like, did they not provide them the information, or what was going on? Because I sent, a screenshot of the information that I put in a week ago. So I'm like, who didn't get it communicated? I don't want them dinged if y'all messed up. Yeah, it's just, I was just very disappointed.
Bye, Tidy.
Bye, Tidy.
Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Iconic Erica Curry. And you can find me at Gilligal on the Twitter. Where can they find you?
You can find me every Monday on this podcast. You can also find me at Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find me on the Nooner podcast on the Smodcast Network. We recorded last night, and I laughed so hard I cried.
I love that.
Yeah. I was actually laughing so hard that I cried, and I was afraid I was going to fart.
Amazing.
Because I think I've recovered from the chicken tenders, but maybe something else has happened. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I didn't fart though.
Good.
It's important that everyone knows that, since sometimes those guys listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
To support.
Important tease for next week's episode. I'm not going to get into it tonight. Nothing was super relevant, but I have a new Bigfoot theory.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
And it's a good one. So tune in next week if you want to hear the Bigfoot theory that I've been clued into.
Oh my God. I can't wait. This is I love the things we don't agree on, It's fun.
It's fun. You can find this pod at Trashy Trashy Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and at TikTok, or at our website, Trashy Trashy Podcast at trashytrashypodcast.com. Or you can email us at trashytrashypodcast@gmail.com with news stories, reasons why you're trash, and we'll read them on air. You can always leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you're listening to this. If it has a rating system, the highest rating always helps more people find the podcast. It really does bump us up in the algorithm, and we really appreciate it. Hey, Cass?
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.